A video of Jaxson Dart and Brian Daboll's conversation after the New York Giants drafted the Ole Miss quarterback has gone viral on Twitter, and it fired me up. And I know you guys are going to be too, and if you want Jaxson Dart to be a star quarterback in the National Football League, hit that thumbs up icon right now, and let's get into today's video. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for being here. Let's just get right into it. Over the last couple of days, a video has been all over Giants Twitter of Jaxson Dart and Brian Daboll's conversation following the first round. And I want to give credit to WD400. Love the name. This is where I saw the video, and then I saw he linked the video to the actual place it was published, which was YouTube. And when I clicked that video, it says that it's private. So I don't know who to give credit to this for. So whatever it is, thank you. I don't know why the video went private, but you could see it on screen. Daboll's private call with Dart on draft night. Daboll says, "I'm banking on you." And Jaxson Dart said, smart man. They talked about a couple of different things in this conversation, and we were able to get some quotes from it. And I was just excited about it. And you could just see the chemistry and the connection between Dart and Daboll. And you can see why Brian Daboll is so confident in this young man and why he was able to really, with his job on the line, tell Joe Schoen to draft him. I'm excited about him. I know I wasn't a guy that was banging the table for him to be the pick at 3 or in the first round at all, but he's our quarterback right now, hopefully for a really long time, and I'm always going to have his back. The video started on Twitter with Brian Daboll making it abundantly clear to Dart that, hey, look, buddy, Russell Wilson is going to be our starter this year, and Jaxson was fine with that, and I think he's looking at this as an opportunity and a moment to learn from a guy that was going to be a future Hall of Fame quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and also learn from Jameis Winston and Brian Daboll. Daboll also saying this to Dart, saying, look, I think there might have been somebody else on the phone because he was referring to Jaxson when he was speaking to Jaxson, so it was a little bit weird. He said, look, Russ's our starter, but we're going to develop Jaxson, and he's going to come in here and work as hard as he can to pick up our system. I believe he has all the physical tools and the mental traits to be able to be a very good quarterback for us, and that's what we're going to try to do. Jaxson Dart said, look, we're so happy. This is where everybody wanted to be, talking about his family, and I assume the other quarterbacks in this class. And Daboll said, oh, I know. I just didn't want to keep on talking and say, look, this didn't happen or that didn't happen. Definitely not talking about Shedeur Sanders and the bomb meeting that he had with the Giants. You know what I mean? You never know how this stuff goes. You know you could have got pick number 9. You could have got picked wherever, but you're where you're supposed to be. Jaxson Dart said, yes, sir, no doubt. Daboll responding, and I'm very excited. I want you to know that I am very excited. Dart saying, I'm more excited. And Daboll makes it clear like, hey, we got a lot of work to do, man. A lot of work to do. And Daboll kind of wraps up the conversation saying, all right, buddy, I love you, man. Telling him he loves him, and he's probably known him for a couple of months and never really spent that much quality time with him. Dart responds, I love you too. Daboll goes, I'm banking on you. And he might have dropped the F word in there as well, saying, I'm effing banking on you. You got me? And Dart responds as cool as ever and says, smart man. Look, Dabes gave Dart QB room and skill position players their phone numbers as well. So he was like, look, I'm going to give you the number of Russell Wilson. I'm going to give you the number of Jameis Winston and Tommy DeVito. Get to know those guys. Reach out. It's probably smart. He said, I'm also going to give the number to a couple of skill position players. So maybe a guy like Malik Neighbors, I would assume, Tyrone Tracy, and maybe other players. But when I heard that Brian Daboll told Jaxson Dart, I'm effing banking on you, my man, and Dart's like, smart man, like that's chills. It is what it is. Like, I don't know if you're a Giants fan and you watch that and you don't get fired up and want some more blue and red Kool-Aid to go watch this team potentially make a run at a wild card spot. Like, that's the type of stuff you need. Then you relax a little bit and you're like, all right, maybe Jaxson Dart's not even going to play this year. I think from the video that we saw on Twitter that I really can't link it. I'll link it to the tweet in the description of this video. But through the quotes you guys have seen in the video, like, and everything we told you leading up to the draft process, that the week of the draft that Daboll was in love with Dart, like it's clear as day. Jaxson Dart was clearly the guy that Brian Daboll identified as the quarterback he most believed in to be the future franchise quarterback for the New York Giants. Like, we saw that in the presser after the pick. Joe Schoen, asked by I don't know who in the media, says, what made you go and select Jaxson Dart? And the question was to Joe Schoen, and Joe Schoen looks at Brian Daboll and he's like, well, why don't you tell him? It's like, okay, well, Brian Daboll was the guy that got to make the decision, and he should be the guy that got to make the decision. You hired him to develop your next quarterback, just like he did in Buffalo for Josh Allen. You hired him to identify the next quarterback, and he has done so with Jaxson Dart. And we also saw that on the Giants YouTube channel where they dropped the Giants Life Part 1 for Abdul Carter, Part 2 for Jaxson Dart, where it was essentially like a Hard Knocks type of thing where he got inside access, and Brian Daboll's quizzing him on the board, and once he got it right, he dapped him up like it was his son. Like, he really likes him, and to be honest, he better like him because he's got a lot riding on him. And we're going to talk about that in a second. If you're fired up about Jaxson Dart, get your jersey today. He's wearing number 6, and jerseys are being sold at chatsports.com/dart. If you get your jersey today, you'll most likely have it for week 1. They're selling fast, and I don't want you to miss it. Chatsports.com/dart. Support our future QB. Before we talk about that, it's been very clear that Brian Daboll has a different swag, a different aura, a different juice. Just following him around at camp, he's dancing, he's punching Abdul Carter, they're banging Gunna at practice, like Kodak's playing, they're having a lot of fun, and Brian Daboll has had a smile from cheek to cheek all week long at rookie minicamp, or all weekend long. And then as far as these players have been in the building, Brian Daboll's been happy about that. It just feels like a different guy out there. And look, let's just keep it a buck. When you like who you work with, you're going to like going to work a lot more. I'm not saying that Brian Daboll didn't like Daniel Jones, but I can promise you he didn't like the way he played quarterback or the way he got wins for this football team, which was rarely ever. And now he has a guy that he handpicked. Ownership let him get that pick. His good friend Joe Schoen trusted him, and now he's got his guy. Like, Daboll said it. Like, Dart is his meal ticket. You effing got me, bro? That's saying, look, I picked you. My seat is hot as shit, and if you flame out, I'm going down with you. Like, that's what it is. Daboll and Dart. I love it. I think it's going to work out. We did a video earlier on the channel this week. Bleacher Report put out an article of best landing spots for rookie quarterbacks. Jaxson Dart was one with the Giants. Tyler Shuck, number 2 at the Saints. And you guys can see the rest. I don't need to read all of those. But I think when Jaxson Dart said this is where everybody wanted to be, it's because the Giants had a spot on their roster, obviously with a need for a franchise quarterback, but they also have things that you kind of want around a young franchise quarterback. Like, he doesn't have to play right away. There's no rush to get him on the football field. He can sit and learn from Russ and Jameis and Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka, 2 guys that worked with some of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. You got some blue chip talent around him. Malik Neighbors is a top 5 wide receiver in this league waiting to happen. Andrew Thomas, when healthy, is a blue chip left tackle. You got to start left tackle. You got to start wide receiver. I'm sure a lot of other rookie quarterbacks don't have that, and they wish that they did. And you're entering an organization that paid a quarterback $92 million after he threw 15 touchdowns. Like, the bar is really low. It really is. And if you're Jaxson Dart or any rookie quarterback, you got to see how Josh Allen came into the National Football League as a raw quarterback with a boatload of talent. I don't want that to be misconstrued. Josh Allen was always Josh Allen, and he was always going to be this guy as long as someone didn't screw him over. But I think Brian Daboll deserves credit for helping Josh Allen get to every single step of the way in his career, doubling his touchdown total from year 1 to year 2 and then from year 2 to year 3. The turnover-worthy play percentage dropping every single year. The completion percentage rising exponentially. Like, Josh Allen was Josh Allen, but Brian Daboll was there to aid him in his growth. And I think if you're Jaxson Dart, you got to be fired up that you are working with a quarterback coach that's already got a quarterback as maybe the best in the National Football League right now, just winning the league's MVP. I also, there's a lot of similarities between Daboll and Dart. They're both guys that are swaggy. Like, it is what it is. They're wearing chains. They got all the Jordans. They just have an aura around them. They're just a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. And there's a chip on their shoulder. Brian Daboll's always been a guy that's got a chip on his shoulder, as does Jaxson Dart. Go watch his Senior Bowl interview. That's on the Indianapolis Colts Locked On YouTube channel. Shout out to them. Dart answering a question where a guy was like, look, what's it like coming from an offense in college that you're not running any of the same concepts you will in the National Football League? He answered another one where it was like, what's it like playing in a one-read offense? And he made it clear. He's like, I think that's an interesting comment, honestly. The concepts that I'm running here at the Senior Bowl are the same concepts that I ran at Ole Miss. The coaches he had at Ole Miss were guys that coached in the National Football League. Charlie Weiss's son runs that offense. Charlie Weiss won Super Bowls in the NFL. I just love that he fired back at that guy. He's like, look, this isn't the Matt Corral-led Ole Miss Fighting Rebels. Like, this is a different team with different coaches there. And yes, they ran some RPO stuff, but there was a lot of pro concepts in there. And I like that Jaxson Dart stood on that table and kind of defended himself. And I want that out of my quarterback. Have some juice, have some pride, and show some fight. My question to you is this, and this is the question that everyone's got to answer. And hopefully John Mara gets the answer on it after this season. Do you think Daboll and Dart figure it out with the New York Giants? Are they the long-term pairing of head coach and quarterback for this organization? We're all hoping yes, but I want you to make the tough answer right here. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. If you made it this far in the video and you're a Knicks fan, check our Knicks channel out. We're live for every single playoff game. Just type in Knicks Now by Chat Sports, Marshall Green Knicks. It'll come up. We'll see you there. F the Pacers. Let's go Knicks.